Hello and welcome to Cloud Forest Vibes. My name's Bobby, and this is how I grow orchids and carnivorous plants. Hello and welcome to Cloud Forest Vibes. So we have another beautiful and sunny day, a sunny morning, so before the lights kick on, I figured we'd take a little look around. I have some new blooms to show you guys in both grow spaces, and what a better time to do it than in the beautiful natural light of the morning. So really exciting stuff. Let's get to it. I'll get this camera off the tripod and move this large hunk of Spanish moss out of the way, and we'll get in here and take a look at our first really exciting new bloom. So, relatively funny story. I was in here last week, and I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday. I glanced over at my Maxillaria tenuifolia, which I know you've already heard me gripe about how I can't get it to bloom. And much to my surprise, out of absolutely nowhere, there was pretty much 2 fully matured buds on there. I'll throw a picture up. Well, I guess I can no longer complain about this plant because much to my surprise, we have been blessed with our first 2 flowers on this plant. Let's see if I can get in here. So this is my first time blooming this plant, and what a gorgeous bloom it is. I know you guys have probably seen them many times before, but what a wondrous bloom. This is my first Maxillaria bloom, and I am just over the moon. It does smell exactly like fresh coconut, and it just looks really beautiful. Oh, let me zoom out again. It just looks really beautiful here in the light. It's got another one here, so only 2 blooms, but fortunately enough, we do get to see them. This one's going to be upside down, but you'll get the point. Neat flowers. Definitely a nice splash of red in an otherwise void of red space. And I'm just so thrilled, really thrilled, if you can't tell. I've struggled with this plant just to get it happy, but here we go. Maxillaria tenuifolia, the coconut orchid. I've taken my my next orchid and hung it right here on this pot. And this is our Harryella odorata, or Harryella retrocala, and it has opened up its first flower of the season. And you'll see why I say this thing looks like a little man wearing a hat, because that kind of looks like a little jack-o'-lantern face or a little man's face, and it's got this weird looking little funny hat on him. At least that's how I see it. One on right now. We have another one that's going to burst any day, and it just looks awesome in the light. So I figured I'd show this off a little bit this morning. Love this little plant. It blooms reliably for me. I'm hoping to see more spikes. I did drop it and damage it a ways back, 2 leaves, but it's growing a new leaf here and pushing on a bunch of new roots and just opening up its first awesome blooms. Now, believe it or not, our Dendrobium microbulbin is still hanging in there. We're well over a month now. These are really long-lasting little blooms, and they open up and get a little bit blousier, I guess, if you want to call them that, as they go on. And they just have that really dainty little white flowers, really long-lasting little things with that little touch of pink inside the lip. It's just a beautiful bloom. Small, but absolutely beautiful. So that's Dendrobium microbulbin. It's, again, still hanging in there, and I'm just interested to see how much longer we have these things in our space. Before we get out of here, I just want to take a quick look again at this Drosera. This thing is pushing up 1, 2, 3, 4. This is brand new, 5. It's got 3 brand new open ones in the middle, 2 or 3 more coming. I mean, this thing is just growing like a weed. Really neat, and it's really doing a good job already of collecting a whole bunch of fungus gnats. So a great plant. That's Drosera binata and Drosera prolifera. Our little Tolumnia Jerac Firm red crystal is doing really good. It's pushing on real quick for a Tolumnia spike. I'm really hopeful to see that thing soon. We've also got coming our beautiful, beautiful Encyclia tampinsa spike. Looks like this one's going to have at least 4 or 5 blooms, and this one back here is going to have at least 3 or 4. So really exciting. They'll be with us here soon enough, and I can't wait to share those with you as well. The Dendrobium hemimelanoglossum is still hanging in there, doing really nice. It's opening up. It opened up this flower this week, and it's got one more bud to come. Should be any day now. But that's still going on strong. But so that wraps up this house. Let's go over and look at the tank, because I have a very, very, very special bloom in there. So we're back here at the tank, and we have a whole bunch of blooms as always. The Lepanthes calydiction is going. It's got 3 open. All the Lepanthes are basically in bloom right now, but that's actually not why we're here. We're going to scroll down a little bit. Can you see it yet? This is why we're here. Look at that big guy. Let me get out of here. So this is a lot better of a view of this thing. This is my Bulbophyllum speciosum. It is a big, bold, beautiful Bulbophyllum. This is another one of those New Guinea special ones. It is awesome. This Bulbophyllum does have a scent. It's kind of a mild, fishy scent. It's not overpowering. It doesn't smell up the whole orchidarium or anything like that. But if you put your nose right there and you take a whiff, you definitely it smells like your hands after you go fishing for a long day. So I don't really mind it. I am a fisherman, so maybe I'm a little bit strange. But that is Bulbophyllum speciosum. And I am just thrilled that I finally got this thing to bloom. I did struggle quite a bit with this plant at first. It's a very, very moist growing Bulbophyllum. So I had it in a pot at first. I thought that was going to be by far the best way to make sure that it stayed moist, but the rhizome started to rot. I lost about half of this plant. It's about half the size it was when I first got it. So I grew it potted for a while. It started to clamber and climbed right out of the small pot that I had it in. So it just made the most sense for me to throw it on a mount and throw it here in the orchidarium, so it keeps a really high humidity and it stays moist at all times. This never ever even approaches drying out. I have thrown, oh gosh, I messed everything up, why don't you? I have thrown a few pieces of live moss just tucked in here. It's growing away, but what I might end up doing very soon after it's bloomed is take all this zombie moss off, or at least thin it down a bit, and then replace it with some of our live sphagnum moss, because this is going to be another one of those ones. As long as I can keep the moss alive, this plant will be moist enough to be happy, for sure. So that again is Bulbophyllum speciosum, and I'm just thrilled to be able to share it with you guys. We have another spike coming right here behind it, so this one should be in bloom for a little while, and we will be able to enjoy it for some time to come. So that's all for today. Let's get one nice shot of this before we leave. As always, thank you guys so much for joining. Thank you for watching and supporting. I really do appreciate you guys. I'm almost to 100 subscribers, and that is just mind-blowing to me. I can't believe that there's 100 people out there that are interested in these silly plants in my little room here. So thank you all so much. I have real big plans, maybe a giveaway or something here coming up soon, just as a sign of appreciation to you guys. But until next time, happy growing, and please continue to stay safe in all this madness with people reopening and doing everything that they're doing right now. Take care. This is probably my first stinky, well, let me see. Oh yeah, smells fishy.